Coming up on this episode of MystiCast, protesters erupt near the Dakota Access Pipeline. We speak with a BSC student about his passion for music and our coverage of the 3rd Annual National Guard and BSC Community Fit Fair. Hello and welcome to the first episode of MystiCast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Nygaard. We're going to be starting off today's episode with the coverage of the Dakota Access Pipeline. On September 3rd, pipeline protesters outside Cannonball, North Dakota made their way onto a Dakota Access Pipeline construction site and proceeded to force bulldozers and construction workers to leave the site.
Don't come back! Don't come back! Don't come back! Don't come back! Don't come.
The day began as most do at the Red Warrior camp, peaceful and prayerful. In the early afternoon, protesters began to assemble and march. After continuing on for nearly 3 miles, a prayer honoring the earth was held. Word spread quickly that construction had begun at a site not far from where the prayer service was held. This site had recently been surveyed by Tim Mentz and his team, who issued a sworn statement that cultural artifacts had been discovered. When the protesters arrived on site, demolition was already in progress. Protesters then trespassed onto the site and made their way towards the bulldozers, forcing workers to begin backing up the equipment. The protesters then found themselves opposite of a security team known as G4S. The security team pepper sprayed multiple individuals before resorting to attack dogs. 7 protesters were injured, including a child. Soon after, the security team loaded up their dogs and, along with the construction workers, left the site for the rest of the Labor Day weekend. A court hearing for the pipeline was held the following Friday. Judge James Boasberg ruled that the construction of the pipeline could proceed, but the decision was quickly overturned by the Department of Justice, asking that they voluntarily pause all construction activity within 20 miles east or west of Lake Oahe. With the Dakota Access Pipeline still teetering on the ropes, the responsibility for the transportation of oil seems to be as big as a factor as the pipeline itself. Since the railroad first brought Bismarck into existence, it has been responsible for the transportation of many goods and services. But with the new pipeline, there's a potential that this very same transport will lose out on the moving of North Dakota's biggest current commodity, oil. In response to the questions of loss of business, the Burlington Northern and Santa Fe Railway had this to say. BNSF transports what our customers want moved from origins and destinations they determine. More transportation infrastructures to move commodities benefits the U.S. economy, producers, and customers. Market forces will determine what mode of transportation is used, but railroads will always be a vital transportation option for moving crude oil to various destinations. With a response like that, we can be sure that railroads will surely maintain a stake in North Dakota's economic chain. Welcome back. Music can be an inspiration, but for some, it shapes most of everything they do. This musician and digital audio student at BSC can easily attest.
I'm Adam Maragos. I play in a band called Classic that I write all the music for, and we cover some songs too. We play alternative rock music at festivals and gigs around town. Who I look up to musically is a lot of people. I look up to Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys, Jack White from the White Stripes, because their early music was just simple blues, progressions, and leads. Playing live is crazy because you kind of feed off what the crowd is like, and I like to adjust to my crowd. If it's like a EDM crowd, I like to kind of be more of a chill groove band. If it's a punk crowd, I like to go a little harder. But it's crazy because it's almost like a drug. It's like an adrenaline rush. you're really in the moment, and then when it's over, you're just like, you feel awesome about yourself. It's a great confidence boost. So what music means to me is it's a way for me to express myself. It's also a way for me to kind of express what's going on up here. And, it's really relaxing. It's therapeutic. It's almost like meditation, because half the time when I'm performing, I'm closing my eyes. It's just like letting it flow through me. It's crazy. It's like it's an emotional.
To find out more information about upcoming Classic performances and their previous recorded material, you can visit these websites: facebook.com/classicband or classic.bandcamp.com. Are you fit enough to pass the Army Physical Fitness Test? On September 8th, the North Dakota National Guard and Bismarck State College hosted the 3rd Annual Community Fit Fair. Here is Dusty Anderson to tell us what new and exciting events they added to this year's fair.
Left. Yo, left. Left. Got right. Left.
Superheroes. That's what these young boys and girls are, at least for today. They are part of this year's Community Fit Fair, where they are going to show off some of their superpowers, and they helped kick off the opening ceremonies.
This year is the first year that we've offered a kids boot camp. Previously, soldiers would bring their children, and then some other children would come and they would take the Army Physical Fitness Test, but this year we offered it up for younger kids to get involved, to take to go ahead and do the boot camp.
Boot camp had several different stops for the kids to try out. Slam balls, army crawl, rope toss, running, jumping, and they even got to practice covering for each other.
I think they're having fun. I think when they did the introduction ceremony where they came in and they were wearing their capes, I think that was really exciting for them. So hopefully it's something we can continue in the future.
One of the boot camp participants had this to say when asked what his favorite part of the day was.
The running.
Why did you like running?
This is my sport.
Young and old helped make this community event a true community gathering.
A lot of the booth members say that they just like getting out and meeting other people that are having booths too in the community, just so they can network, and the participants, you know, some of them keep coming back every year, so to try to improve their APFT score.
As for Charlie, would he come back and do it again next year?
Yeah.
Why?
Fun.
There were 86 total participants at this year's fair, along with 37 booths. Make sure you watch it for the next year's Fit Fair, which will be held in September of 2017. One of the challenges of a two-year college is leaving after your sophomore year. We interviewed 2 Bismarck State sophomore volleyball players about how their team is doing.
Our team is doing really well so far. We are a very young team with only 4 returners, so we're all just trying to connect, and so far it's going really good.
Rumor Stokes also had this to say.
I think the season is going well. Right away we got off to a rough start, but it's clicking and I'm really excited to see where it's going to go.
We then asked them about how important team chemistry is.
I think it's really important if you get along with your team. That really shows on the court because you're able to communicate really well and to just really work out the kinks that you have on the team.
Team chemistry is very important because you can have a team full of great athletes and not play well at all, and you can have a team of best friends who aren't the best athletically, but they'll win games because of the chemistry they have.
There's still a lot of season left. Be sure to come out and support your Bismarck State's women's volleyball team. Their next game is Sunday, October 7th at Central Community College. Not only is texting and driving illegal, it puts the driver as well as the other motorists in danger. We reached out to local community members to see how widespread this issue really is.
This is illegal in North Dakota, texting and driving. We talked to local attorney Justin Binge about it.
It is against both city and state law to use a cell phone or some other smart device to send text messages while driving.
We talked to a local police officer from Bismarck, Officer Rentz, and he filled us in on the penalties of texting and driving.
Well, basically what the law says is that you cannot be texting using your smartphone while you're behind the wheel, basically. And it doesn't matter if you are stopped at a stop sign, a red light, or anything like that. The only time you can do it legally when you're behind the wheel is when you have pulled over, put your vehicle in park, and you are no longer on the roadway. But as long as you're on the roadway, you cannot be using your phone in any manner to send, receive, or even read any type of text message.
Remember when driving to always set your phone down and keep your eye on the road. That was our final story for you today. Thank you for watching our first MystiCast show of fall 2016.